welcome back to our channel. So today is the day that the girls turn 1. Ah! Ah! Who's 1 year? Ah! So today is December 18th. And tomorrow will be December 19th, which is actually the twins' first birthday, which will actually be the day that you guys see this video. So basically I thought it would be a great idea to tell their birth story on the day of their first birthday. I wanted to go ahead and do that for you guys because I know a lot of people have been wondering, or they wanted to know how it went, because I get a lot of questions about when I had the twins and stuff like that. So I think this would be a really cool vlog. Alright, so I wanted to kind of start from the beginning, from when I first got pregnant, but I think that would be another story to tell. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to do it from when I had the girls to now, what leads to now, I guess. So basically, I was considered a high-risk pregnancy because I had twins, but not only because I had twins, because they were considered, I think it was called monodi twins, which means they share one placenta because they're identical twins. Considered more of a high-risk pregnancy when you're carrying twins, and especially identical twins, because they share the same placenta. So that's a little dangerous. It's actually very dangerous. So since I was considered high risk, they would not allow me to go full term or even try to go full term with twins, which is completely understandable. So they actually made me pick a day to be induced if I didn't have the babies earlier than that day. I was scheduled to be induced at 36 weeks. Me and Anthony actually picked December 19th. So basically we picked the date, December 19th, that was the date we picked. And I had to pick no matter what. December 16th came. Well, actually, you know what? Once that week came that got close to December 19th, I was like, okay, I'm ready. And I was basically doing everything, water to break. I was bouncing on balls, walking everywhere, and I was just doing everything I could to try to get my water to break. But, you know, even like the mitts and the home remedies and everything, none of it worked. Anyways, December 16th came, and that was on a Friday, I believe. I was having some sort of discharge. It was like very fluidy discharge, so more like water almost, just like not clear water. This sounds gross, but okay. So I talked to Anthony's mother the time we were living at his house, his parents' house, and she's like, honestly, I wouldn't take the chance, you know, they're twins, you should go to the hospital right now. And so what we did is we packed up all of our stuff, our baby bag, our hospital bag, everything, and we went to the hospital. And I was like, oh my god, this is it, like I'm about to have the twins. But we were wrong. It was actually just discharge, as they called it. They said it was nothing, but I did get checked that night, and I was actually 2 centimeters dilated. So they were gonna come anytime soon, you know. So I went home that weekend and I was bouncing on the ball like crazy, walking, doing everything I could. Nothing happened though. And then December 19th came, the Monday, and my inducement was at 8:30 a.m. So me and Anthony, we were so excited. We woke up at like 5 in the morning and we drove to the hospital. We were there super early. Anyways, they get me checked in and everything. I go straight to the labor and delivery room, and it was just so crazy. It was so exciting. You know, I get checked in, they start giving me the potassium. I think it's potassium, which is what they use to induce women. Had me, you know, all hooked up and everything, and monitoring the babies, and it was just so much going on. So once they started giving me the potassium, you kind of start to go into labor more. When they help you go into labor, they make you go into labor basically. But yeah, so they did that, did this really weird thing. They put a balloon inside of me, and that's supposed to like help me open up, which is really gross, pretty bad. It was very uncomfortable. That happened, and apparently I was having contractions that whole time, and I wasn't feeling them. The nurse would be like, are you not feeling that? Like my contractions were like so high, like they were showing me like the heartbeat and stuff for the babies, and I was having contractions like on and off every like 5 minutes almost. I just wasn't feeling them. They were like, do you not feel those? And I'm like, I don't feel them. And my whole thing was I wanted to wait to get the epidural. I was gonna have to get it no matter what, because with twins, they make you get it because just in case something happens, you have to go to an automatic emergency C-section, and they don't have time to do all that if it's an emergency, especially with twins. So I had to get it no matter what, but I told them, like, listen, I want to wait. I want to just get the feeling. I don't know why I wanted to experience this, but I did. I wanted to get the feeling of what a contraction felt like. This is about like 2 in the afternoon already. They've been giving me potassium, however you say it. They've been giving me the potassium, and I've, you know, I'm starting to dilate more. At this time, I was probably like 4 centimeters dilated after like it had been already like almost like 6 hours, and I wasn't really progressing. Then around, I want to say like around 6 o'clock at night, I started feeling like the contraction. I'm like, okay, I feel contractions, like I actually feel them this time. It was like, all I really wanted to do was get a feel for one contraction. I'm like, I just want to know what it feels like. And then an hour or so later, it really hurt. Like, it really started hurting. I'm like, okay, I'm ready for the epidural. My water had not broken yet. My water was still not broken, and I was dilated. Doesn't even make sense, right? I was dilated, 4 centimeters dilated, and my water had still not broken. Finally, in the middle of me getting the epidural, I feel like, or actually no, it was right before I got the epidural, I just feel like I just peed myself. I'm like, oh my god, I'm peeing myself. I think I'm peeing. And they're like, nope, that's your water breaking. And I was like, oh my goodness. So then my water had broke. And at that point, I was technically considered in labor, I think. I was technically considered in labor, I'm gonna say. I got the epidural, and let me tell you, I think the epidural was one of the most painful things. I thought it was more painful than any contractions, anything else that happened at the hospital that night. Anyways, got the epidural. A couple hours later, it's around 10:30 at night. Or it's around, no, hold on, rewind. 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 9 o'clock at night. They check me again. I'm only 7 centimeters. No, actually, rewind again. It's about 7 o'clock at night, and I'm only 7 centimeters dilated, which is a big progression. So we're like, okay, maybe another hour or two, you know, I'll be like 9 or 10, and I start pushing. And mind, I really, really, really wanted a natural birth. I was so afraid of having a cesarean. I don't know why, but it was just hurt me to know that I would have to do that. So I really, really pushed. We really pushed for a natural birth. So that's why I waited that long. I really wanted the natural birth, and it was perfect because the girls were both head down. You know, there won't be a problem because normally with twins they're always breech, so you can never have a natural birth, but because they were both head down, they told me, you know, you can do it. So I was so excited. 7 centimeters, 4 hours go by. Check me again, I'm still 7 centimeters, and they had given me the most potassium that I can take. And so unfortunately, they break me with the bad news, and they say, I'm sorry, but we're gonna have to do a C-section. Like, we can't give you any more potassium. We're giving you the most we can give you, and you're not progressing. You're not dilating anymore. So my heart broke. I started crying. Of course, Anthony was so excited because he really wanted to wear the outfit, the cesarean outfit, I don't know. So we get ready and they suit me up and everything, and Anthony, and we get going to the OR. And I was crying. I was so sad. I was really just so heartbroken. I really wanted a natural birth. At this point, they bring me in, and I'm like, I see those big lights everywhere, and I'm like freaking out. I'm like, I don't want this. Like, I was crying, and the doctor was so sweet. He was trying to make me feel better. He was like, it's okay. Like, where are you from? Like, being so sweet to me, asking me questions. And I was just so sad. And at that point, Anthony wasn't in there with me because they had to, I guess, prep you. So he wasn't allowed to be in there yet. So I really wanted him next to me because I felt so uncomfortable. And then they were giving me more numbing stuff. Like, literally, I was completely numb from like under my chest down. I was completely numb already. Like, I felt it go in me, and I was like wiggling my toes. I'm like, I can still feel my toes. I need more. I need more. Like, I was so scared. And then finally Anthony came in and I'm like, babe, I can feel my toes. Tell them I need more medicine. Like, I can feel I was like freaking out. And little did I know they had already started cutting me up. And I didn't even know. And they're like, don't worry, like, we're already like in there. And this is like 11:50 at night. I was so drugged out. I was like, I would go in and out. Like, Anthony, I was talking to Anthony, and next thing you know, I'd fall asleep, wake back up, look at him, and I'm like, what is going on? I was so drugged out. I don't know what they did to me. I didn't know what was going on. I would just wake up and see like the glare of lights everywhere, and I'm like, oh my goodness. Do you want us to show you the baby when she's out? And I'm like, okay, yes, I do. And they're like, okay, get ready, because you're going to feel a lot of tugging and pulling and pressure. And I'm like, what? And then, little do I know, they're tugging and pulling, and I feel like them moving my body. It was so weird. Next thing you know, they lower the thing and they show me Aaliyah, and she was so big. Oh my god, I'm gonna cry. She had a head full of hair and she was so freaking big. She was so big, and I looked at Anthony and I was just so happy, and we were just smiling, and it was just such a great moment. And then, you know, it was 11:57 when she was born. Exact. They called the time, and I'm like, and I started freaking out. I'm like, oh my god, get the other one out. Like, I don't want them to have separate birthdays. Because it was 11:57 at night, so if it would have hit 12 o'clock, she would have been born on December 20th, and Aaliyah would have been born on December 19th. So I started freaking out. I'm like, no, get her out, get her out. And so they got her out in literally like 30 seconds. So they're 30 seconds apart. And then they showed me Alana, and she was even bigger. And I'm like, oh my goodness. And so much hair. They had so much hair. And I was just so happy. And my question that I kept saying, I'm like, are they going to the NICU? Are they going to the NICU? Like, how much do they weigh? That I kept saying that question because I was so worried about them having to go to the NICU. And, you know, like, that was my biggest fear. So I kept asking, and they're like, no, your girls are big. Aaliyah was born at 5 pounds 6 ounces, and Alana was born 6 pounds. And I mean, that doesn't sound like a lot, but for twins, that is huge. Absolutely huge. So I was so happy. And then after that, I kind of just blacked out, and I did not know what was going on. Like, completely blacked out. The meds just took over me, and I'm just like not understanding. The babies and Anthony left. Like, they left the operating room, and I was just there. I guess they were stitching me up. And I kind of woke back up, and the doctor was like talking to me, like comforting me. I asked them, like, can I see my placenta? And they showed me my placenta because while I was pregnant, I saw a lot of doctors and we did a lot of ultrasounds, and I kept getting different answers from all of them. They kept saying that I had 2 placentas or 1 placenta, so they couldn't figure out if they were identical or not. And when he showed me 1 placenta, it told me that they were identical. So that was a big thing. They ended up transferring me into another room, and then my mom came and Anthony's mom came. They saw the babies, and it was just such an exciting moment. Even though I was kind of not knowing what was going on, I was still blacking out, and like I was just drugged out. I did not know what was going on. I held the babies for a little bit. I was just looking at them and admiring them. They were so beautiful, and they were so big. It was just such an amazing moment. Fast forward, you know, we get to our room, our recovery room, and the babies are with us, and it was just so amazing. I wish I could redo the whole thing. As painful and crazy and hectic as it was and stressful, I would do this all over again. It was just so amazing. I don't even know. You know, there's more stories that fall along with that, but like I said, I think those could be other videos. So if you guys are interested in hearing more stories about that, and when I was pregnant, and what my reaction to the pregnancy was, and like telling our parents and stuff like that, make sure you comment below and let us know if you want to see anything else. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Feel free to share this video. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and